How to overcome betrayal. The tavern was in Tallinn, tucked within the old city walls where cobblestone streets softened under fresh snow. Outside, lantern light reflected off pale stone, turning the night gentle instead of cold. Inside, the tavern breathed slowly. Wood creaked, candles flickered, and the air carried the faint scent of pine resin and smoke. I was polishing a cup when the traveler arrived. He paused at the doorway longer than most do, as if stepping inside meant admitting something he'd been holding back for a long time. His shoulders were tense, his jaw set, not with anger, but with hurt that hadn't yet found a place to rest. "You're welcome here," I said, meeting his eyes. He nodded once and sat across from me. Alex glanced up from his corner, offered a quiet nod, and returned to his tea, present but never intrusive. "I don't know how to talk about it. You see, I've been betrayed, but I don't know how to carry it alone anymore." "Betrayal has a way of doing that," I said. "It makes everything heavier when you try to hold it by yourself." He let out a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. "It wasn't just what they did, it's that I trusted them. I believed in them, and now I don't even recognize myself." I leaned forward slightly. "That's because betrayal doesn't only break trust in others, it fractures the trust in your own judgment. It makes you question your instincts, your memories, and even your kindness." His eyes flicked up, startled, not because he disagreed, but because he felt seen. "I keep replaying it," he said, "wondering how I missed the signs." "And that, my friend, is the trap," I replied gently. "You're punishing the version of yourself who chose to believe, and belief is not a flaw." "Tell me," I said, "before the betrayal, who were you?" He hesitated. "Open, loyal. I gave people the benefit of the doubt. And now? Tired, guarded, angry at myself." I nodded slowly. Betrayal often convinces us that the solution is to become smaller, harder, closed. But that, my friend, is not healing. That's survival overstaying its welcome. Alex shifted in his chair, setting his cup down softly, listening without interrupting. "You didn't lose because you trusted," I continued. "You lost because someone chose not to honor that trust. Those are not the same things, no matter how much the pain tries to blur them together." The traveler's hands clenched, then slowly relaxed. "But how do I stop it from changing me? How do I keep it from poisoning everything else?" "You don't rush forgiveness," I said, "and you don't pretend it didn't hurt. You let yourself grieve, not just the person, but the future you thought you were building with them. And here is the quiet truth most people won't tell you, I said, lowering my voice. Betrayal teaches discernment, but only if you don't let it harden into bitterness. He listened closely now. You're allowed to be cautious, I continued, but don't rewrite your past kindness as stupidity. Kindness was never the mistake. The mistake was someone else's choice. The tavern fell quiet for a moment, snow muffling the world beyond the thick stone walls. I still feel foolish, he admitted. That feeling fades, I said, when you stop measuring yourself by the wound and start measuring yourself by how you heal. My friend, trust doesn't return all at once, I went on. It comes back in fragments, in moments, in small risks taken with the right people. He nodded slowly. So I don't have to become cold? No, I said firmly. You don't have to become anything you're not. You only have to become honest with your boundaries and with your heart. Alex finally spoke softly. Some doors close so you can hear which ones knock. The traveler smiled faintly at that. Betrayal doesn't define your capacity for love, I said. It defines your capacity for resilience. And resilience is quieter than revenge, but far more enduring. If you're listening and carrying the weight of betrayal, don't rush your healing. Don't shame your past self for believing. Don't let one broken promise rewrite your entire story. You can honor the lesson without living in the wound. You can protect your heart without imprisoning it. The traveler sat back, staring into the candlelight as if seeing himself more clearly for the first time since the break. The tension in his shoulders eased, not because the pain was gone, but because it had finally had permission to rest. Outside, Tallinn slept beneath a quiet snowfall. Footsteps softened. The city hushed, as though even the night itself understood restraint. Alex gathered his things quietly, offering one last nod of understanding before retreating to the shadows. You're not broken, I said to the traveler. You're bruised, and bruises heal, not by pretending they don't exist, but by giving them time and care. He stood steadier now, carrying less than what he arrived with, not because he lost something, but because he chose not to keep carrying what no longer served him. The tavern remained warm as the doors closed behind him, unchanged, patient, and waiting. The lanterns will remain lit, and the fire will be warm, even when the door closes behind you. Return whenever the road feels heavy, or when your heart seeks quiet company. Carry what serves you, leave the rest by the hearth, and know that this place and these words will wait patiently for you. Until then, travel gently, my friend, and let the night watch over you.